So good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Andres HPC onboarding. Before we go for this actual training, I would like to give you some logistics. First of all, I am Dhanya Pushpadas from University of Bergen. I'm the training coordinator at Andres. So Andres. We are a collaboration of 5 institutions for university: Oslo, Bergen, Tromsø, and NTNU. Together with the Sigma 2, we collaboratively operate our national infrastructure services. We have 3 clusters and 1 storage system. And you will be doing the hands-on session in one of the cluster named Saga here. And I would like to emphasize that this is a teamwork, and the Andres team, training team especially, was working on this training since a couple of years. You will be meeting many of us during this 3 days workshop. And as you might have noticed that we are recording this event. So you are welcome if you don't want to be recognizable to switch off your cameras. But I assure you, we will edit the portion after the event before we publish this on YouTube. And these 3 days, you will first familiarize with the UNIX commands, and then we will go to the onboarding HPC intro. So on behalf of all the training team and all the instructors, I would welcome you to onboard to HPC onboarding. Thank you for joining, and we are glad you have here, and we will try to meet your expectation during these 3 days. And one important thing is that we follow Carpentry's Code of Conduct. What exactly it means that being respectful to each other, using welcoming language, and being considerate. And if there is anything uncomfortable, you can report to me. I'm the host of this Zoom, or any of us at Andres. So one thing I would like to emphasize one more is that we know that the learning persona is different from each of you, and we will try to accommodate everyone. If some of you are experienced with the UNIX command and you see that it's all you know, I would like you to stick on and help us to answer the question. So as you got the email, we will use a collaborative document, which I'm sharing now, to ask questions and give answers to this. I request one of our Andres colleagues to paste this link on the Zoom chat as well. So, and how do you do that? This is an anonymous way. You don't need to be logged in, and we will not know who you are when you type a question. So this is to motivate you to type any questions you are wondering, and don't hesitate to ask questions. How to do that is, what you are viewing is a read-only mode. And if you want to edit, you press this pencil or pen icon, and it will move to the edit. And you are supposed to ask your questions bottom of the page. Here you can ask, and you can provide the numbers. It is normal markdown. You just need to type your question. We will be monitoring our entry staff behind the screen. So when you want to watch others' questions and answers, you can go to the view mode. And during the registration, we have collected some of your wish list, and I have put it here, and we try to answer it. And I don't know who asked for this wish list, but you can go through this if you wish. First of all, there is an icebreaker question, and we would like to get you type on this collaborative document. And please go on and give your answer to the icebreaker questions. I think that's all I want to mention. Your instructors will introduce themselves beginning of their sessions. And is there anything I miss, Sabri? Or
yeah, it seems okay.
Okay.
So the main thing is we'll be asking questions on this shared document, not on the Zoom chat. So whatever you want to ask or communicate or comments, you should try to write it here on this document.
Yeah, that you are communicated regarding this via email, but still we want to emphasize this. You can find all the information about this course page and schedule here. We are linked this information in the top of the page. And the questions we expect you to ask bottom of the page before above this line, so that we can monitor this, and we will try to answer these things. Without much delay, I would like to give this to Maikin and Sabri. You can take over the screen and introduce yourself and start with UNIX commands and equip us with the much needed UNIX commands for the HPC use. Thanks.
Thank you, Dania. Good morning, Maiken. Good morning, everybody else.
Good morning.
Yes, Maiken. So what we are trying to do during this first day, and especially during the morning session, is that give an understanding for everybody what basic UNIX commands are needed in order to use HPC. So this is not a UNIX lesson. It's to teach a lot of UNIX, but it is to give you enough confidence and enough knowledge about commands you need to navigate the HPC system. So Maiken, what I'm trying to do in the first two lessons is to introduce something called the terminal. You know, I will I will imagine that you don't know anything about these things, because the first lesson is to get everybody on board, you know, have the same stage. And then I will teach you how to, not teach you, right? Rather show you and work with you to learn on how to work on a computer that is not on your desk, you know, somewhere else. Then I think you'll be coming with some additional commands like finding files, Maiken. So what were your plans for this finding files?
Yeah, so once Sabri very soon will get you on board with the basics. So we'll go through really some of the kind of fundamental commands for navigating and working with UNIX. So you'll hear more about it once we get there. But yes, you have to find out where you are, find out what you have, how to manipulate files, and so on. You will learn.
Yes. So this tutorial, so I will maybe one of our colleagues can paste it on the chat. So Maiken, I have 3 windows here. The first one is the web page that you also have linked to. So I will follow this. I'll try to stick to the material so you'll not get confused. So you have to help me if I miss something or like going too fast. And then I have the live coding window, which means that I will also type things here to show. And also there's this window on the bottom, which you could see, the yellow one, which would show the last 3 commands I typed, which will like if my terminal disappears, if what I typed earlier disappears because of the output of the previous command, you could see the last 3 commands. So Maiken, we also have this the collaborative document. So the first part of the our lesson is to find out how to communicate with the computer. So we have these questions, as Dania showed. So the way you use this document is that you click this pencil icon and you could edit that. So when you are not editing, I'll recommend that you go for the view, so it will not sort of load the system too much. Then when you click editing, the first question is, how do you ask the computer, you know, nicely to do something for you? So how do you do that, Maiken?
Well, nowadays means after many years of working at the university and taking courses at the university, I typically open a terminal and tell the computer what to do from there. But
Okay.
I also click on icons on my Mac and make things happen in that way.
So Mike and I will write here. So if you press enter, you'll get a new line. So you said you are using the terminal. So so you ask with how could we replace this? Ask the computer to buy. Okay. No.
Tell the computer what to do through the terminal.
Yes. So what that is, we'll figure out later. So if you could also type in, so everybody who's watching this, you could open up the document. So it will also give you a chance to sort of practice how this works. You could also type. Do you talk to your, maybe not the computer, do you talk to your phone, Megan?
No, I actually turn off all those things, but that's a possibility. But anyway, yes. It's listening anyway, but yes.
Yes, it's listening, although you're not talking to, you could ask the phone, find me the nearest restaurant, and you'll sort of understand. So there are so many ways to communicate with the computer. So to make sort of case to why we would learn this terminal. So it's not like that intuitive, isn't it, Mike? And so it's like you have to type things in a specific language. So the computer would also understand what you want it to do. So these are like our normal languages. It has words. So if you combine these words, it might produce multiple results as well. So before we start typing a lot, these commands are very cryptic, isn't it? So for example, a simple command to list the files we have is ls. So if you don't know what ls means, it doesn't it might not make sense. So for this, I think we have created this command cheat sheet. So if you ever wanted to get more details about it, we'll show you more details later as well. You could click this command cheat sheet and you'll get some description of these non-descriptive commands.
And note that this cheat sheet, it scrolls to the side also, up and down. So the table is too long for the, if you scroll to the side, Sabri, yeah, exactly.
Like this?
You'll see that,
okay.
Yes. There's some more explanation, or I think examples how to use, yes.
Yes. So the first part of our lesson is to show you how to get an account. So if you are here, you probably applied for an account and you got an account. The reason that we have this detail here is that to give you a uniform way to repeat what we do. So I could also work on Saga, which is like a supercomputer or like a cluster, we call it. And you could also log in and type, and you will see the same, more or less, comparable output. But if you do it on a laptop, of course, you could follow these commands on your laptop as well, because we don't need any HPC for this lesson. So when you practice it, you might not see exactly what we get. So you are welcome to follow. And I would also like to show you this tab. So we're trying to consolidate all the lessons, have all the lessons in one place. So here in this Saga, From, and Betsy, which are NRIS Sigma 2 super clusters, more or less the same way to get accounts. And we also have Fox, which is the University of Oslo local cluster. If you want to access that, you could access that as well. These commands more or less will work the same way because it's basic Unix. We'd like to add more tabs here, for example, Idun, if possible in the future. Then, Michael, I think we have introduced the shared document. And then we'll talk a little bit about the command line itself. If you have, let's say, like 100 files on the same folder, and some of them are PNG files and some of them are text files. How would you sort of collect all the PNG or the image files into one folder? And then, so basically what I'm asking is, how do you separate these text files and image files into separate folders? What would you do?
Well, again, I mean, since I'm used to now using the terminal, I would actually write commands on the terminal to do it, because it's an extremely straightforward and efficient way of doing it. But I could also use my Finder in my Mac and sort it by kind and mark it and move it with the mouse.
So if you have like 10 files, I would say like moving with the mouse, drag and drop might work. So let's see. Without taking too much time, so I could show you, here I have this folder. So now there are PNG files and then text files. I could create a folder, right click, new folder, images, and then I can drag drop. So what if you have like 1,000 or like 100,000 files? This wouldn't scale. So here we get the terminal, the help of the terminals. So if you can use certain commands and then combine those commands to achieve things like this. Sort files, get the first 10 lines of the files. We use those things a lot. This is because this is like a text-based interaction. We could also easily communicate with computers that are far away from you. You could send commands through the internet and get results. So if you could also open up graphical user interfaces, but that's the load is too high. So the way we interact with remote computers, like the HPC systems that we're going to learn from today, is the terminal. So we have some examples here. Rename 1,000 files, group a collection of PNG and JPEG files, extract first 10 lines of the file, work on a remote computer, and pipelines. So anything else you want to mention, Maiken, about sort of motivation for this?
No, I think that's enough. I think it's good.
Yeah. So then we had to find the terminal. What is this terminal? So if you have been using HPC systems, so if you are on a Mac, for example, or a computer that runs on Ubuntu or a UNIX flavor, you will most probably had an interaction with the terminal. On Windows systems, if you are using a recent Windows system, like not very old system like Windows 7 or something, you will also have a terminal. So that terminal, we call it the command line. So that also you could use to issue the commands that we're going to show, because the only command icon we are going to use from your laptop is the command that to connect to the cluster. So there are several ways to find the commands. So one is to hold down the hold down the Alt key, control key, and without letting go the Alt, control, and T at the same time. First Alt, control, and the T. So that I'm not going to press this one live, Maiken, because it's going to confuse this setup here, Zoom setup and everything. So the first method is to see whether you can get it. On Mac, would this key combination work, Maiken?
I see. I actually haven't tried that. I have also renamed my keys. So
okay, fine. So then on Windows, on Mac, we have this search box, so you can type terminal. And on Windows, you could also type terminal, or command prompt, and it will pop up something. So follow these instructions and try to find your terminal and give us an indication whether you found it or not. So when you found it, because I found my terminal, I'm going to have O here, which means a vote. If you can't find the terminal, you have to have a O on the under I can't find the terminal. And when you found it, remove that O and go back and vote that I found it. And if you're like totally lost what we're talking, please vote that as well so we can revisit that. So I will give few, maybe 1 minute for you to find out. So how many, yeah, we have 48 participants. Out of that, I think about 8 staff. We should have at least like 75% yes in order to move forward. Oh, somebody deleted that. So the person who deleted that, press Control Z, Control Z. So it will be undone what you did.
Or Command Z if you're on Mac.
Yes.
Yes, this is a risk with a document which everybody edits in. Things like that can happen.
Correct. Yeah. So we will see. We'll count from 8 or 10 maybe. Right. The first way I showed was to press this key combination, or you could use the word terminal to find out. Or maybe you could also click the menu and find terminal. But on most systems, finding the terminal by clicking menus is not that obvious. So you have to you need to know where it is. And while we go on learning these things, while you find the terminal, if you want to ask any questions, as somebody has done, how do I access Saga? Somebody asked a question. So you could also ask questions here on this document. And now colleagues will continuously answer those things.
Sabri, may I comment on something?
Yes.
If we sent information about user access and all the users who applied for user access have granted so far from until yesterday night. So if you want to do the hands-on, you need user access on Saga. You need to follow the instructions sent out by email to you last week and a reminder yesterday as well. You can still follow the course without doing the hands-on exercise.
Actually, they could follow it on their laptop if they have like a terminal, like a Mac or a Windows. If you have installed this software that we sent, but what I type or what Maiken will type and they will the results we will get might not be exactly comparable, but it's you could practice in theory actually.
Yeah, so, only the SSH to Saga, and that will not work.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's a good point.
Sabri, you want to share something else, I think.
No, I was just looking at the schedule. So shall we move on, Maiken? Or should give some more time?
I think we can move on. And because nobody has said that they cannot find it, so I think we're good.
Good, yes. So when you open up the terminal, when you finally found it, there are certain things that we will mention, like refer to certain terms. So the first term here that we see here is the the user at laptop. That is we call the prompt. So that could be that will not be comparable to what you see and what you will see on the screen, because that is unique to the place you are in, and also the username that you use to log in and your system and etc. etc. So this you should try to type. You should type this part, so that should appear on your computer. So if you see something different, don't try to change it now. It's so what you see here doesn't matter when you type commands. Then this is the command. The echo is a command that we type. So echo means print it back for me, or like echo what I'm going to type. And then for this command, we have given an argument, $0. So this dollar means it's a variable. There are some value stored in it, and this value will be echoed. So I'll ask the computer to echo the value of what's stored in the $0, and it prints bash. So actually, it's a standard variable which tell you what flavor of Unix that you're using on this terminal. So in this terminal, I'm using bash. So on your laptop, you might see some ZS, C#, many types of flavors, but after you logged into Saga, you'll end up in bash. So this having bash is very important to get the same results as the commands that we'll type, especially later on. And then there's this cursor, there's a blinking cursor if you don't manually set it up not to blink. So this is where you type things. So this is when you press the key, this is where it will be typed. And when you type this, certain commands will not give any results. We'll see some of those later. And some commands, like after you type the SSH, when you type the password, you will type, but you will not see what you're typing for security reasons. We'll come back to that, and I will tell you more when you come to that point. So if you found the terminal here, let's see. Yes, I found my terminal. So I don't see anybody say no. Then we talk about our first command, like we use Word or Excel for spreadsheet applications, Word for typing documents. We use this SSH command in order to connect to a computer on the other side of the network. So the paradigm here is that when you work on HPC systems, you will see that you will use your keyboard and mouse to type things, and those commands will be taken to the through the network to the cluster, and it will execute there. So before we execute commands, we need to establish this connection. So to establish this connection in a secure way, we use this SSH. So Michael, sometimes it's used in multiple ways, because SSH is also like a protocol. A protocol is like a standard accepted ways of doing something. And we say things like SSH client, SSH server. So this cluster should host a server to accept SSH connections, and your laptop should have a client that could connect. In order to do this, we need to find this program. So I recommend that on your terminal, try to see whether you have this program. So I have two terminals opened up here. So I will use the command clear. So this is to show you to clear the commands I typed earlier. So in this command, I'm going to type SSH, a dash or this minus sign on your keyboard, and a capital V, a big V. And when you type that, you should see something like this. The alternative is, if you don't have that command, you will see something like SSH, command not found. So these are the two outputs, but the output we want in order to continue is this. So open up your terminals, type SSH dash a capital V, because Unix, I forgot to mention, Michael, it's case sensitive. So capital V is not the same as small v. If you type small v, it will print many other things. So you should type capital V. And type that. And when you found your terminal, found your SSH command, please vote here, locating SSH. So capital V, and many have already found it. And if you don't have it, mention that here. But I'm not sure what you mean by locating SSH. Yeah. So that's So I may have said something confusing a little bit, because I used the locating the terminal and finding the SSH in the same sentence sometimes. So you have to find the terminal, and the way you see whether you have the SSH command is by typing this SSH capital V. Do you have this command, Michael?
Yes,
All right,
I do indeed.
Good. So I'll give 1 minute to find this. So how are you on time?
I believe we have 8 more minutes.
I'll give another 30 seconds. Yeah. Any questions that we need attention? Okay, good. I found it. Yeah, there are different versions of the terminal as well. As like programs, different programs. Yeah, anything would be okay, because the terminal we're going to use, if you have a Saga account, is to connect to the cluster today. So after you have this, after you have found the command, the thing we are going to use is ask the SSH. I summon the SSH command, SSH, and my username. So my username on Saga, I'm going to use my username. So you should use your username, or you should not type like this, my username. You should replace that with the username that you got for Saga. And then @ to separate the address of the machine. So like our houses where we live, we have addresses. So these clusters also have an address, specific address. So if you type this, you should, the SSH should be able to find it. So Michael, I'm going to type that command here. So I'm going to use the command clear again to clear, what I typed here. SSH, my username. So don't try my username here. When you repeat, you should use your username. And saga.sigma2.inno. That is where the computer is located. So when I type this, first time login, when you do this if you are doing it to the first time, you will get a key authentication confirmation, which means that just in case you think that you're typing this, but maybe you forgot the 2, or maybe instead of saga.sigma.2.inno, you typed com here. So that means you are going to some other site that you not intended to be. For that reason, it's asked to confirm. So is this the place you exactly want to connect? So this key you can find from our website and compare it if you're not sure. Then after comparing, when you found out this is actually Saga, not something I misspelled, I would type yes to accept that. And then I'll type my password. So the password you will not see. So when you type the password, nothing appears, but I'm typing now. And then you press enter, and then you will end up in Saga. So if you see, I type my command here. So please go ahead and log in.
And maybe if somebody knows exactly where to find that fingerprint, they could paste that, because that's something I always I'm lazy to check myself, because where is that fingerprint? Where can I find that again to check that it's the correct place? So if somebody knows immediately the link to that, they could paste it on the.
Thank you.
In the Hedgedoc.
Yes. So this is what I typed. this is where I accept the key, and this is where I landed. So you see that you are welcomed here, and it says Saga. And you can use the command like host name. Host name is to find out the name of where you are. So this will print something like login 4. Maybe you'll get different login because there's this round robin system to balance the load. There are several machines. When you type saga at sigma.no, you might end up in login 1, 2, or 3. So after you logged in, the way to come out is exit, EXIT, and you'll be on your laptop. So that is the sort of for your company. This is the name of the place I'm connecting to. So try to log in. The command I used is so second time when you type that, the key authentication will not appear if you're logging into the same login machine. So after you log in, yeah, so look at SSH.
Sabdi, may we can emphasize that probably your university username or Saga username might be different. You should use the username you got when an account was created on Saga.
Good point, Dania. Always type the username, at least during this course. So you will SSH username at saga.sigma2.no. Now it's not asking for the fingerprint because I already confirmed once. Then the password, you will not see the password. So this, then you log in. And when you log in, you get some messages, and it will also show that I have been logged in from this address previously to this place. It shows that I have logged in last night. The reason is now I ended up on login 5. If I had logged into 4, it will say that I just logged in moments ago. Try again, exit. Again, log in.
I can elaborate a bit on that. So what Sabri said now is that he was in the machine login 5. So what he's saying is that this address saga.sigma2.no, it actually points to several different physical machines. And several different machines, and they have different names. So login 5, login 4, login 1, and so on. It's chosen for you in the background, but you can choose specifically if you want also.
Yes. So now I ended up in login 2. Exit. I'm just trying to get to the same machine. If you type the wrong password, Micah, it will wait for a while and it will say it's wrong. So when I'm typing live, I'm little always concerned that I'll type the password. So on somewhere else, I should type. Yeah, that's correct. Let's see. And it also shows me that there were 2 failed logins because I typed it wrong. So you should have a look at these things when logging. So now this shows that I've been logged in moments ago. So this is then either 5, 3, or 4. Yes. I think that is what we wanted to mention here. So is there any? I'll close this one. Okay, just so I don't see anything that we need attention here, Micah.
Seems okay. I think maybe we can move on.
Yes. So the command I showed you to see where you are, that is host name. Here it prints the full host name here, but you only see this part when you type it.